who's going to be evaluating that situation while he's looking around at your property that he or she may forfeit. And that decision is based upon a number of motivating factors, clearly one of which does not take into consideration what we all would consider the marijuana being unusable. But there was some breaks in the insanity, and in a case, People versus Randall, an unpublished case, they came to the conclusion that you can't really do this without needing to address. You can't really analyze the Michigan medical marijuana unless you give real meaning to the words. And oddly, they went into great detail, even pulling from Merriam-Webster's dictionary and that authority to look at the words of what dried means. That they had to go this far. And when they concluded is that dried means dried. It doesn't mean drying. It means a final state, not in process. Complicated, right? So, of course, this case had no significant meaning because it was unpublished. But then, out of the blue came this case, Isidore Manuel. And in an opinion that makes sense, Circuit Court Judge, who's actually the sentencing judge in the Larry Nassar case, many may not know that, but the trial judge, gave an opinion that said, look, if it's not dried, it's not usable, and therefore it doesn't count. And the Court of Appeals embraced that opinion of hers and referred to the Randall case that I mentioned, embracing and utilizing all of their hard work in being able to analyze what the word dried meant instead of drying. Nevertheless, since then, and with the testimony of Frank Taluski, an expert from the in that opinion that we here at Camoran Law have used several times and has been very effective in being able to help assist in what may or may not have been usable at the time it was seized. And this is important because you have to remember that without the opportunity to do some of these things, it is only one version of the story from individuals that are in the law enforcement community that have no interest in discussing or understanding the process of curing. Nevertheless, this opinion comes out. Manuel, I have to do the other one. You got to give me 3 more minutes.
You got
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
2.5.
All right. So, Manuel is good law, and Manuel says specifically that if it's not dried, it's not usable, and therefore does not count towards your volume limitations. And I can tell you we've had some successes based on that particular ruling. And then this new opinion came out that is really a disservice to Michigan jurisprudence. The reaction that most people would have, whether you're a layperson, a lawyer, a layperson that thinks they're a lawyer, specialist in the MMA, what have you, you look at this opinion, you know that there's not a lot that can be said. I mean, we could all, and I just want to kind of, because I'm limited on time, instead of complaining, I'm just going to say what I think is the best approach. It is not an opinion that one should try to find logic or reason in. It's kind of like the Carruthers opinion.
It's exactly like the Carruthers opinion.
It's written by the same justice. This Justice.
Of course it is. It's the same bullshit logic.
Well, it's not even logic. It's cop logic, as my friend Jeff Frazier would say. But what was important here is that, and we've had these opinions in the past. The one that comes to mind is Harwick and Tuttle. Remember, there's the time at the Court of Appeals where, I mean, that case at the Court of Appeals before it was the Supreme Court. Court of Appeals opinion was that for prong 2 of Section 8, the amount reasonably necessary to supply the patient with an uninterrupted, supply, was testimony that had to come from the doctor. Okay? This is where the Court of Appeals is. That opinion made it impossible to have a Section 8 defense because no doctor was capable of doing that. Most probably still are not, and they probably shouldn't be because they're making a recommendation to think about using it for but not certainly overseeing it and being knowledgeable enough of a Schedule I controlled substance to tell them how much to take. That is far beyond the pale, and in a unanimous opinion, the Supreme Court said that is some crazy kooky stuff, Court of Appeals, and we are going to reject it. So we've been here before. That's the time we were there before. We needed the Supreme Court to clear it up. There's another time, the Section 8, Section 4, King and Kalanick. That was all screwed up unanimously. So, am I going to be able to talk about Mansoor?
After the break.
Oh, my God. I mean...
Rant us, interrupt us.
All right. Okay. Fine. It's a good time to stop, says Jim Powers.
Hey, I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules.
Since we're in the shell thing or whatever, okay, whatever. All right, we're good. Let's do that, take a break, and we'll come right back. This is Planet Green Cheese episode. And Rick Thompson is here doing the news soon.
Together. I think that sounds weird. That sounds really.
place to hide. When I saw the woman and the devil walking side by side, I said, hey, come on, let's go downtown. She said, I gotta go, but my friends can't stick around. Take a load on me. Take a load on me. Take a load on me. Take a load right on me. Go down this moon. It's just so Luke is waiting on the judgment day. Hey, look, my friend, what about the young and the lead? Said to me, baby, son, won't you stay deep in the comfort? Take a load on me, take a load on me, take a load on me. Chester followed me and he caught me in the fall. Said you gonna fix my ride if you take Jack my dog. Wait a minute, Chester, you know I'm a peaceful man. That's okay, boy. Won't you feed him when you can? Come on. Take a load on me. Take a load on me. Take a load on me. Load right on me. Take a load, and I don't believe it's time. Take me back, Miss Penny. She's the only one. God for everyone. Take a load on me. Take a load on me. Take a load on me. Put the load right on me. Take a load on me. Take a load for free. Take a load on me. Load right on me.
Why are we at the playground?
Because I told Patrick we're gonna meet up.
Do I have to play with his son?
Yes.
But he smells like ranch dressing.
And just, I don't know, hold your breath or something. Go play. Hey, man.
Hey.